Hello people, C4 on your face, and here I'm doing a tutorial on Panzoid. This is the website I use to make my intro, which you just saw, and I also use it to make my thumbnails, but today I'm going to be showing you guys how to use the Clipmaker 2 beta. I'm just going to give a quick rundown of it, just mess around, show you how to use it. So first we're going to start on the file. So you don't have a project yet, so you can start from scratch, or you can look at the templates, community templates I haven't messed with yet. So you can always get a template, but we're going to be going from scratch here. So let's go to basic settings. You can set your video resolution, frame rate, and length. I'm going to set that to, let's say 12 seconds. So, yep, alright, there we are. Everything's working well. So we could choose a scene, we could choose outdoor. Oh, yeah. I did. That one must be new, so I have not seen that one yet. There's, cloudy light rays, which take a minute to load in. So I'm going to go ahead and do darkness. There's also blocks, which is like a Minecraft kind of one. So you can see it's like complete darkness, but I'm going to go ahead and set the ambient lighting to 1 here, so that way it's automatically lit for me. So here in the objects we have shapes and things like that. So let's choose the shape as a box. Alright, so the buttons down here, this is play, this is toggle render preview, that's mute sound, that is fast forward, and then that is toggle audio waveform, but we don't have any music yet. I'll get into that in a minute. And this here is your timeline. So you can mess around with boxes, but I'm going to be doing this like this is an intro. So I'm going to go ahead and add text. We're going to change it to, let's see, quack. Nope, that's not how you spell quack. McDucket. Alright there, that's Quack McDucket. So, as you can see, with the ambient light, see if I set this to 0, you can't see anything. Set that back to 1, and then, bam. So, we're going to go ahead and change the height down here. You can drag these, and then if you use control, you could slow drag it. So, we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to set the thickness down. You can put it to 1, you can put it to kajillion million. But we're just going to go ahead and put it on 4 for now. But that still is a little thick. Alright, detail, we're going to go ahead and turn that up to 10. You can always put that at 1 if you want everything to look, I guess crappy, but, yeah. So, camera controls, when you're not in render preview, is, right mouse to pan, left mouse to look around, and then scroll wheel to zoom in and out. So you could just do that. So you could see detail doesn't make it look very well, but if I set it to 10, bam, that's amazing. So you can change the center point. You can move it around a bit. We're going to go ahead and set that back to 0. And then you could change it to some of the preset stuff. We're going to do single color. Let's set the color to pinkish purple. So you could also mess around with the scale right there. And then there's particles. We'll get into that in a minute. Alright, so now we got some effects. Add anti-aliasing. It helps with the rendering process and stuff like that. Then color correction, favorite tool in here. So let me change. You could just mess around with this until you find something you like. So let's put the add up. Alright. Mess around with that. Oh, nice. Alright, so we got a green kind of background there. And then we'll mess around with that. There. That's not bad. It won't be in this kind of view, but it's going to be there, right there. And RBG shift. Alright, that's just going to, you know, kind of do that. And then fisheye, what that does is make it kinda fisheye, right? So you can put it to negative, which makes it like that. And then if you put it positive, it makes it closer. So you could use that for kind of like this. Doot 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 doot. Alright. So that's fisheye. And shutter. Oh yeah. That's this. Kind of like that, like the black bars. And then bloom. It's also a pretty cool effect. As long as it's not super overdone like it was there for a second. So that just kind of gives everything in the scene a bit of a glow. Makes it a bit brighter too. So you can see it's very glowy now, but we're going to go ahead and leave that out for now. And then radical blur is just some intense craziness. Density, you can mess around with that. I don't use this too much. Wow! Going into another dimension with that. Duplicate is a duplicator, pretty much. But that's going to be like very hard to render, so I do not suggest that much duplication. It's going to be pretty heavy on your computer there. So we're going to go ahead and leave it at 1 for now until we get into other things. Oh, and then I guess you could probably guess what negative does. It makes everything negative. Yeah, it gets all mean and gets mad at you. Tries to hit you. Anyway. Messing around with camera scenes here. So, let's say it starts out here. Alright. Instead, we're in frame 1 right now, so you can move around the timeline with your mouse. Just click around the place. So we're going to go ahead and just pan it right over here. And we're going to use current camera location, okay? So now if we go into camera view, it's right here. Let's jump to this frame and then move it over here. And then you could use current. So if you have it set to linear, this is what it's going to do. Go to camera view. Alright, so it just does that. But if you do not want it to do that, what you can do is set that to none. Set both of these to none. Now what that's going to do is it's just going to snap over here. So, bam, snaps. Alright, and then you have shake. So, here's pretty much what shake does. If I turn up shake, right, it goes freaking nuts, okay? But if I take it to the first one, set this down to 0, right? Oh yeah, duh. Just add a little bit. So the camera just shakes along. Let's go ahead and turn off the linear thing so you can get a good view of this. I don't remember the perfect settings, but if I turn up the shake, maybe. So the camera just kind of sways like that. But then you could turn up the shake speed a bit. And then that makes it better. Hold on, let me close out a lot. So, kind of like that. Makes it look all dun 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 dun. So next tab here is audio track. I'm going to go ahead and I just have this ready to go pretty much. You can toggle audio waveform. So that'll show you the audio. So here's the audio I'm using. Right. Now we're going to try and make that, in the end it's going to go to the beat of it. So let's go ahead and mess around here. So if we toggle audio waveform, let's go back to the first frame and then back to camera, okay? We're going to do some camera tricks. So, here's how we're going to start out. We're going to go ahead and turn off shake for a minute. It's going to be some extra effects we add later. So, the first camera position is going to be at 0, 0, 0. Rotation, just so I'm going to put it back in front view, so set everything to 0, and then you're just going to go ahead and move that back. That would put it back at like a regular view, I guess you'd say it. And now that the camera position is there, it's just going to be like that for a moment. 2 frames later, let's say, it's all the way up here. Now, what's going to be going on is it's going to be like swaying over to the left. So then we're going to use current over here. Now we're going to turn off linear, so it just snaps instead. And now let's move over here. So it's going to be like that. And then let's use current position. And now let's get some shake. So if we go into here. Wow, alright, that happens a little too fast. Okay, just move this stuff up back a bit. I forgot how spacing works on here. Oh, also, forgot how to do it. Oh yeah, zoom in and out here so you can see more of your frames. Alright, so that's a bit better. So it just kind of comes in shaking. But I think we're going to go ahead and just set it up there. Alright. Just kind of messing around with stuff. So, I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward this a bit. And you can go ahead and watch, see what I'm doing here. Right now I'm just going to be messing with camera things only. And then I'm going to get into stuff like particles. Alright, so a little update here. We hit play. Snap, 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 snap. Alright, so I think that's pretty good. And now we're going to be increasing the camera shake effects. So we're going to go ahead and get shake here. And then what we're going to do with that, so we're going to get the shake speed way up, alright? Oh, make sure we get linear off. And let's move that here. Yep. Okay. So let's see that. Alright, so it's quite moderate. And then it just goes insane right there. And then to go even farther with it, we're gonna go here to FX. We're gonna go ahead, put a frame right there. And we're gonna use fisheye. So, right there, let's go to frame 1. And then, oh, yeah, I forgot to select it. We're gonna put enabled off. So it's not on at the beginning. Set that to 0. And then, hold on, let's play this. And then right there when it starts shaking, we're gonna add that in. So we're gonna set the amount to 25, or its default. And then we're just gonna zoom it out a lot. Actually, no, we're gonna zoom it in. And now what we can see here, so it's not on yet. Alright, but linear's on, so we gotta fix that. So that way it doesn't start to come on. So you gotta start with it off, or otherwise it's just gonna be on in there for the whole beginning. But if you want it to be that way, that's also fine. So then you just leave it on. And then you can see it just kind of pops out. So, ways this could be used is if I go here and then enabled, so where it's still off, and then I go back over here and put linear, you'll see going from there, and then it increases genuinely instead of just snapping like that. So, now we can save the project if you want to save here. But that is the basics. So now we are going to be messing with just, fun stuff. Like, let's say here, when it's shaking, we want to duplicate it. Right here, we want to duplicate it. So duplicate, and then we'll leave it on 3 right there. And then put enable on. Alright, so make sure linear is off. And how much you want it to duplicate, set that to whatever. Go to the beginning here, turn it off. Set that to 0. Oh, that's on 1. Oh yeah, that's because it's default. And then right here. And then it duplicates there. So depending on the song you have, you might want to have it at the bass drop, things like that. So that's some fun stuff you could do. Now we're going to go ahead and look at particle effects, because they're just a lot of work. So you got the color here. It's a slider, so you can have it be, what the slider does is how it is over time. So it starts out purple for a small bit, and then immediately changes to blue. So we're going to have this be a single color, because I like it to be a single color. I don't want it to change colors. So I'm going to be customizing this my own way. So what number of particles does is how many particles are there. Emitter rate is how fast it emits the particles. So it emits them pretty fast, right? And the particle lifetime, this works in seconds. So if I put it to half a second, oh, okay, so 1 second. I don't know if it actually runs off seconds. That's just kind of my guess. So they're just constantly being made at that point. Well, it seems like it because they're dying out so fast. Alright. Gravity here is where they go. So if I wanted to set the gravity up, the particles go up. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back to 3. So that way it lasts longer, and then the particles to somewhere like that where it's not as bad. So I just kind of ran out of particles because it emitted them all at once. So it depends on how many particles you have. So if you have an emitter rate of 10 and there's only 50, they're going to just kind of run out after it emits all 50 of them. Oh, and size, I don't mess with that, so I'm completely unsure. So I'm gonna have my particles go that way. We're gonna go ahead and set that to 0. You can see my particles are going left now, but if it was positive, it'd be going the other way, like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and set it negative. Oh, and this also controls if you want it to go forward, if you want it to go backwards. I'm just going to leave it at 0 so it's not going forwards or backwards. Initial position, so you could just change where it's at. So I'm just going to leave it at 0, 0. 0, 0, 0, I mean. Position spread. How far apart they are really, so particles are really far apart, but if I put the position spread down to 10 where they were, or let's say 1. They're just kind of in a straight line. I'm going to leave that on 10 though. And this is, you get the point of those. Like if I panned it up and over, and then edited this value, you can see that. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave that on 10. I'm not really sure. That means, I think it's because I already have them going that way, so I'm not sure about that. initial velocity, I don't know. It just kind of makes them go that way anyway, even though I have the gravity set. So I think it's just more powerful than the gravity and can overtake it. Oh, texture. You can do real pretty sparkles, but for particles I tend to use waterfall. You could also use a custom texture. Let's use this angry dog. Doge. Doge. You get the point. So it just kind of does that. And then if you want to fix it, because you know it's kind of like stuck like this, you can't cancel it. Just reselect a texture. I'm gonna change it back to waterfall now. Bam. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to move it down. And then position spread there. So it just kind of generates and then goes away that way. So you can mess with these, find out what you like. I'm gonna leave them out for now. And then light, you don't really need to do unless you have it automatically lit. I'm not gonna get into lighting. So audio track. Alright, pretty sweet intro. Now I made an exact intro with this song. So if I go ahead and open it up, load, nope, not start from scratch. Load template, so if I could find it. I think that's it. Nah, this is it. Yeah, here we are. Oh no, this is actually my new intro. So this is really complicated. I actually have 4 different particles here. There's 2 on each side. Number of particles 5 and stuff like that. But if I go to my camera here, yeah, not much happens. I don't know why though, because the camera moves a lot. Oh, because this is the unfinished version of it. That's right. So if I don't be a derp and then load the correct project, here's what we get. Go to camera. Alright, so there's all this crap right here. Oh yeah, I gotta show you rotation of the camera. And then the camera just like kind of spins it around, even though it looks like the text is spinning around. So let's do that. And then right here when the bass is dropping, or after it, open up rotation here, and then you could just kind of do what you want. Yep. Alright, turn that. I don't know what that original value was, so I'm not gonna mess with that. But yeah, I could just kind of rotate the camera, and I think it's on linear. So yeah, it just kind of does that. But you can obviously set it to none. But in this, I set it to linear so you can like see it spinning. And what I did for that is I just added multiple frames of it spinning. So if I go to the next frame here, and then rotation, and I turn it more that way, but leave it on linear, this is what you get. So it just kind of keeps on turning upside down. So that's why there's a lot of frames there. And then right there, you could see that I added the duplicate, where it enables right there. So it's kind of like right when it turns is when it just duplicates to all 3 of them, which I found really cool with my intro. Right, I kind of forgot something. So this is after the video is over. I forgot how to do a video, and here's how to download it. So mode is balanced. You can do fastest render, which it's gonna not look as great. So I'm gonna do best quality, frame buffer rate. Turn that all the way up if you want good quality. Encoding threads 3, and these settings right here are if you have a good graphics card, which I have a great one. So this worked for me, and I still had a very fast render. So if I turn this up to 3, you can see the bar's just filling up. We could do fastest render, you know, that's crappy stuff, and yeah. So I'd recommend balance for decent cards, you know, maybe 125 megabytes and 2 encoding threads. So then you'll have a decent intro, but well, I wouldn't say decent. I'm not gonna say any mode really differs that bad, but I just suggest best settings. So anyway, that is Panzoid Basics. If there's anything I missed, I will make a part 2 and do some more explaining. But thanks for watching, guys. Yeah.